Alright, so it's almost July. You know what that means? Nothing. There's no football. There's no football. Hockey's getting ready to end. So I wanted to start off things by just doing a very light AFC East, and I'm going to go through all the NFL divisions as we go here in the next, basically all the way leading up into training camp. So we're just going to go over each division one at a time. Today's the AFC East. And I just want to touch on what I think the team's record is going to be, a couple of reasons why, and maybe give you a couple of takes that, you know, I have unusual, unique takes. We'll just put it that way. So let's get started with the Buffalo Bills. Now, a couple of questions there. They didn't do a whole lot during the offseason, okay? So, you know, I mean, basically their biggest signing was Emmanuel Sanders. Biggest question is Josh Allen going to continue to improve, or is he kind of maxed out? Now, last year they won 13 games. Obviously, we got the extra game this year. So, I being the Dolphin fan that I am, I wanted to try to see if I could find a way. How much worse can we get them? How many pegs can we get them knocked down? So, I looked at the schedule and I added up what I thought would be logical wins. And I got to 13. And I didn't like that number. So I looked at it again, and I got to 12. And I didn't like that number, so I looked at it again, and I said, damn it, I got to 12. So that's the best I can do, is 12-5 for them in terms of playing devil's advocate. Now the schedule's not exactly easy either, okay? Before they play the Dolphins on Halloween at home, they've got Sunday night at the Chiefs, and then Monday night at the Titans. Now that's two games there where they could legit play pretty damn well and not win either one. So I'm looking at them and I'm thinking 12-5. And they've also got a couple other games, including at the Saints and at the Bucks, which we don't know what the Saints are going to be, but the Bucks, obviously, you know what that game's going to be like. So I've got them at 12-5. I still have them slotted in to win the division. The biggest question I have in my mind, obviously, is Allen peaked, or is he going to continue to improve? If he continues to improve at the same pace he has, ouch to the rest of the AFC East. That brings us to the Dolphins. I've got them pegged at 11-6. The first 5 games of the year and the last 3 games of the year. That's going to be the entire season in a nutshell. Tua has to be ready from the beginning, okay? The first 5 of the year we could legit play pretty damn well and maybe, and I mean maybe, come out at 3-2. All right? And the other question there, obviously, we've got a couple of questions. We've got what's going to go on with Xavier Howard. Is he going to, like, honor the contract, or what are we doing here? And if we move him, what are we getting in return? And is Noah ready, you know, to play opposite Byron Jones on that side? Now, the other thing is health-wise. Everybody is really, really happy with the Jalen Phillips and Jalen Waddle pick, with the exception of Waddle's got a bad ankle. I don't know how this works. Apparently, the reports out of camp is that he's limping around, but looks great when he's running. Ergonomically, I'm not sure. One of those two doesn't seem right. And then, of course, with Phillips, he had the concussion issues. He actually had to retire. And so he's still going to play, and we don't know what we've got there. We don't know what we have there. We need what we need him to be. There's no there's no doubt about that, because in terms of the Dolphins, pass rush is going to be important. We'll just put it that way, especially without X. Especially if X decides to sit out, or we get rid of him, or we trade him for Rodgers, and then we have to find somewhere to go with Tua. But that's a different video. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Anyway, I have us at 11-6. When you see Buffalo at 12-5, that doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the head-to-head battles between the two teams is what I think will decide the division. I have got the Patriots next at 10-7. Titans, Browns, Saints, and Bucks. Basically the 4 toughest teams that they're going to play, with the exception of the division games, all at home, all in New England. I'm not saying that the schedule makers have a bias, but I might say that. Okay, look, the bottom line is you've got this gigantic unknown, right? You've got Mac Jones versus Cam Newton. Now, you know what you're going to get with Cam Newton. Apparently, the word out of camp is that he's improved. Obviously, he's in a better position than he was last year, knowing the playbook, etc., etc. Still, accuracy is, okay. Then you got, they drafted Mac Jones, and they're talking about, is he going to compete with Newton? I said this in all my other previews, I still think that Belichick is going to start the season with Newton, and then first sign of trouble, go to Mac Jones. So, I've got them at 10 wins, but, they signed a ton of players. They've remade themselves, obviously. And the question now begins to be, can Belichick take a team like that and mold them into a winner? The AFC East is not an easy division. All right, from their point of view, you've got 4 against the Dolphins and Bills, and if you play well, you can split those games, right? But you don't look at any of those 4 and think we're definitely going to sweep. So I've got the Patriots at 10-7. I think that could be a little high, to be honest with you. I think it may be closer to 8 or 9 wins, but again, their toughest games are at home, and we know how the Patriots traditionally do at home. Jets fans, Jags, Eagles, Texans, Panthers, Falcons. This 5. Come on, right? So, all right. Here's the big thing with the Jets. I say this on all my live streams when I'm talking about the Panthers, if we can get rid of Yandel. Addition by subtraction. Robert Saleh is not Adam Gase. It doesn't matter how great Robert Saleh is or isn't or is going to be. That's an entirely different subject. He's not Adam Gase. We tried to tell you. Look, Jets fans. Look, guys, okay? If you meet a new girl, if you meet a new hot girl, okay, and the first thing she tells you is, the last 2 boyfriends I had, they kicked me out because they said I was crazy, run. We tried to tell you, you didn't listen. 2 years, and finally, I can't believe he lasted 2 years. As Dolphin fans, we're sitting there, we're watching, they're going to fire him, right? They're going to get right, and no, they just kept throwing him out there, like the Panthers throw Yandel out there. Now, I have a buddy, I have my friend Steve, okay? I love this guy. The poor guy, he's a Jets fan, and you have to feel bad for him, especially the last couple of years. I feel you, we've been there. He believes Zach Wilson is going to be like the second coming of like Montana and Brady and Marino all wrapped in one. Slow the roll just a little bit. I'm going to give the Jets 6 wins because there's 5 there that you should get. And you got to figure Saleh's going to have them playing hard and, that whole new coach, new team type of feel, right? And the other thing they did is they signed a ton of players. But what they did, though, is basically everybody's on a prove it deal. They signed a couple of guys to 3-year deals, and then everything else is 1 and maybe 2. So don't get married to any of these guys that you guys signed. It's very similar to what the Dolphins did a couple of years ago. And don't be surprised if the Jets are churning the bottom 20. All right, waiver wire picks up, off, on, off, on. You're going to see a lot of different times, players playing for the Jets. I'm going to give them 6 wins because I think there's 5 they can win, and I'm going to give them the 1 extra win just for my friend Steve so he doesn't feel so bad. All right, so that does it for the AFC East. So we still have the Bills winning the division with 12 wins. I believe the Dolphins will make the playoffs with 11. Do I think the Patriots are going to make it with 10? No, I don't think they're going to have the head-to-head in the division. I think they're going to eat up some of the NFC teams a little bit and elevate that win total a little bit more than they should. So I don't think the Patriots are going to be in. The only reason they make the playoffs, I think, is if Mac Jones just absolutely balls out and everybody that they sign comes together. And then the Jets are still the Jets. They're going to win 6 this year, maybe. Next year they might win 8. And then you want to start talking about they can compete in 3 or 4 years. We can have that discussion. But the Dolphins and Bills, they're not exactly going anywhere either, right? So to be honest with you, in the hierarchy of this division, I know it doesn't appear to be this way, but I'm telling you, I think it's still going to remain Bills and Jets for the next few years. Or excuse me, Bills and Dolphins for the next few years. And I think the Patriots are going to go down a little bit, and I think the Jets will rise up above them at some point. How long can Belichick coach? How long? Go, retire. They're not going to prove it. Brady already proved it. He didn't need you. You're a great coach. You won plenty of Super Bowls, but you're not going to remake a Super Bowl winner the way that you guys are doing it right now, and you probably don't have the energy to draft a team and build it. So, that was the AFC East. We'll get to another division in a couple of days. Not sure which one. Well, I'll just pick one. We're going to do the AFC first and then the NFC last. And then once training camps start, we'll do some more in-depth stuff where we talk about, certain players and everything like that, because there's still so many different moves that can happen. I mean, I'm still waiting for Xavier. I know I said, did I say? Yeah. I'm waiting for the Xavier Howard for Rodgers deal, and then we can scoot Tua somewhere and get some residual income from him. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. I see you again. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock. So the live stream starts at 7 o'clock tonight for the hockey game, and then the recap. So that will be 4 videos for today. I'll see you later.